I'm Diana. The sound of my chair scraping against the hardwood floor echoed through the silent dining room, louder than any applause my brother had ever received. I stood up, smoothing the hem of my plain black sweater, and whispered, "Excuse me. My board is waiting." As I walked out, I could feel the stunned gazes of my family and my father's business friends on me. The truth had just detonated in this polished room, louder than anything I could have said. Looking back now, it's hard to believe how things have changed. For years, I was the overlooked one in my family. My brother Ethan was the golden child. He was 5 years older than me, and from a young age, he excelled in everything. Our parents, Robert and Linda, were well-to-do. My father was a successful corporate lawyer, and my mother was a socialite who spent her days attending charity events and social gatherings. Ethan was the pride of the family. Teachers praised him, and my parents couldn't stop showing him. The anchor's voice cut through the silence. The identity of the secret billionaire behind cybertech innovations is revealed. Founder and CEO Diana Thompson, net worth $12.5 billion. The room went dead silent. My mother's fork clattered to the floor. Ethan's smirk disappeared, replaced by shock. My father coughed into his wine glass, his face pale. His friends leaned forward, squinting at the screen in disbelief. I stayed still, letting the silence hang heavy. Inside, my heart was pounding, but it was a feeling of release. All those years of doubt, all those nights of hard work, were finally out in the open. My mother was the first to break the silence. "This must be a mistake," she whispered, almost pleading. As if on cue, the dining room doors swung open. Jake, my CFO, stepped in, holding a tablet with live numbers. "Apologies for the interruption," he said, scanning the stunned faces. "But the story's out. Ms. Thompson, your company's valuation just jumped to $13 billion after the market reaction. We're getting calls from Paris, Berlin, and Tokyo." I rose from my chair slowly. "Thank you, Jake," I said calmly, as if it were just another business meeting. I glanced at my family and the room full of people who had underestimated me. "Excuse me," I whispered, "my board is waiting." Once outside, the cool night air hit my face, and my phone started buzzing non-stop. Notifications from CNBC, Bloomberg, and the Financial Times flooded in. The headlines were all the same: the invisible billionaire revealed. My company's stock price was climbing in real time. I slid into the back of my car, and Jake handed me the tablet. "We've already scheduled a call with Paris," he said. "The government wants to discuss a major infrastructure project." I nodded, looking at the numbers. Billions were piling up, and it felt like the universe was finally recognizing my efforts. Meanwhile, my phone kept ringing with calls from my family. 10 calls from my mother, 12 from my father, and 5 voicemails from Ethan, all filled with disbelief and panic. But I didn't answer. For years, I'd craved their approval, but now, I chose silence. I spent the rest of the night working, finalizing deals and responding to government inquiries. By morning, cybertech innovations controlled an even larger share of the tech market. The next day, the world's headlines were filled with my name. Interviews, invitations from governments, and offers from private jet companies poured in. My family, on the other hand, was in disarray. I heard that my father's business friends had called him, asking why he'd never mentioned his daughter's empire. My mother's exclusive country club, which had rejected me multiple times, suddenly sent me a personal invitation. Ethan's company was struggling because cybertech innovations controlled the key technology his firm relied on. But I didn't gloat. I just kept moving forward. Silence was my weapon. However, I couldn't ignore it when they showed up unannounced at my office. From the 80th floor of Cyberteka's glass headquarters, I saw them through the lobby cameras. My father was nervously straightening his tie, my mother was clutching her handbag tightly, and Ethan was pacing like a caged animal. Jake appeared at my door. "Do you want me to send them away?" he asked. I thought about it. It was so tempting, but I wanted them to see the empire they'd thought would never exist. When they entered, their jaws dropped at the sight of the rows of analysts, the walls of live market data, and the efficient operation of the company. Ethan's eyes darted to the global map on the main screen, showing our servers across the world. My father cleared his throat, trying to hide his awe. "Impressive setup you've got here," he said. "It's not just a setup," I corrected coolly. "It's the future of technology." My mother leaned in, her voice soft. "Darling, we just want what's best for you. We didn't mean what we said before. You know we love you." But her words sounded hollow. Ethan finally snapped. "You're destroying my company. You control all the chips we need. You can't do this. It's not fair." I met his panic with calm. "Business is business, Ethan. Isn't that what Dad always said?" He flinched, and I turned to Jake. "Send them the standard partnership documents. If they want supply, they'll pay the market price. No exceptions." A few days later, they came back. This time, they wouldn't leave. I sighed and let them in. My father walked in first, his confidence shaken. My mother followed, her face made up as if she'd practiced for this moment. Ethan trailed behind, pale and jittery. My father finally spoke. "Diana, we were wrong." I looked at him, feeling detached. "Wrong about what, Dad?" He swallowed hard. "That your company was a joke, that you should give up. We underestimated you, and now we need your help." Ethan stepped forward, his voice cracking. "My company is in trouble. Without your supply chain, we can't survive. We're family, right?" "Family?" I repeated softly. "Where was family when you mocked my startup? Where was family when you told me to quit and be more like Ethan?" Ethan opened his mouth, but no words came out. I turned to my father. "You spent my whole life telling me business is business. You were right. And cybertech doesn't do favors, not even for family." The room went quiet. My mother whispered, "We're losing you." I shook my head. "No. You lost me years ago when you decided my worth before I had a chance to prove myself." Just then, Jake appeared with his tablet. "Ms. Thompson, the Japanese delegation is waiting for you." I nodded and turned back to my family one last time. This boardroom is my family now. This company is my life. You don't have to understand it. You just have to live with it. As I walked out, I knew I'd finally broken free from their shadow. I'd built cybertech innovations to prove to myself that I could, and in the end, it proved that the girl they'd dismissed had become a powerful woman. I no longer craved their validation. My life was measured by what I'd built, not by their approval. And the best part? They'd never underestimate me again.